What's up, everyone? It's Vandy from Pacers Gaming, and I'm here with Reezy. Today we got the Pacers Gaming podcast presented by Salesforce. And today we're going to be going over all the shooting guard builds for 5v5 and 3v3 in our league build. So number one, we got the two-way three-point Playmaker 1. It's probably the most used build in the game for shooting guards in 5v5. You're also seeing a little bit in 3v3 as well. But Reed's played majority of shooting guard this year. So do you want to go through that?
Yeah, this is by far the best scoring shooting guard. Like if you're a big scorer, shooter, finisher, this will be your go-to build. Pretty solid defense still, good ball handling. Like I said, great shooting, good finishing. So just the best all-around build. If you're kind of a two double ball handler system, this is going to be your go-to shooting guard build to use for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this year there's not really many pure sharp builds.
Yeah.
We'll get into the next build that's more of pure sharp type build with a little bit of defense. But I mean, the league's more transitioning more to double ball handlers. That's what we run. So this is definitely really useful for a point guard as well. If you're boxed up, this build can also dribble. This is also the only shooting guard build that can quick stop as well. So that's also really needed in this year's build. The defense isn't that bad. You still got an 80 steal, pickpocket on silver, clamps on bronze, interceptors. Obviously, good with the gold. So this is probably the number one used build for shooting guard. So the second build right here is the two-way three-point Playmaker 2 with the limitless range and spot of precision as its badges. So this one, I mean, it's a good build, mainly for 3v3. If you're using double ball handlers in 3v3, you can clamp anybody. Just not really great speed boosting wise. You can't really dribble too much with it. No quick stops. Really, you're only gonna be fading. So it's a good build with the defense. Primarily just the defense. Dunking's pretty bad with 74. You get a center down there. I mean, it's probably gonna be off.
Yeah.
So other than that, mid-range pretty bad as well. But it's defensive type build. Other than that, you just got the defensive badges, got decent shooting badges as well. Kind of that pure sharp type player, if that's what you are. But not many in the league that use this.
Yeah, I think if you're going up against a shooting guard, like one of the top shooting guards in the league, like maybe Kai or Beast Move, you might pull this build out so you can defend them a little bit better. But for the most part, everybody's still using two-way three-point Playmaker 1. Nobody's really using these unless, like I said, you got a specific matchup where you really feel like you got to lock the shooting guard down to win the game. So.
Yeah. All right, so for the next build, we got the offensive threat. Again, these two builds right here, it's two-way three-point Playmaker 1, three-point Playmaker 2. Two most used builds for 3v3 and 5v5. The other ones aren't really used as much, but we'll still go over them. So for the offensive threat build, you got a 92 dunk, which is pretty good, but not many players in the league go for dunks this year, especially with the right stick. If you go up, you got to time it. It's not really useful this year compared to last year when you get contact dunks all the time. That was crazy in last year's league build. Three-point shot's pretty good. You got decent shooting badges. Playmaking's pretty horrendous. 80 ball control, it's pretty bad. Speed of the ball's pretty bad. The defense is horrendous as well. You only got silver interceptor, which it's decent, but again, not really used that much.
Yeah, I would say this build kind of most resembles the first build we looked at, two-way three-point Playmaker 1. But like I said, the other build does pretty much everything better. It shoots better, it playmakes better, defends better. The only real upside for this build, like Vandy said, is the finishing, but not too many people are rim running this year.
Yeah.
The paint defense is pretty solid, and just not really a lot of need for all these finishing badges and attributes.
So the next two builds right here, we got the two-way three-point Facilitator and the perimeter lockdown. These are both the 3v3 builds that they put in the game. With a 25 free throw, you're not going to be hitting any free throws in 5v5, so it's very useless in 5v5 gameplay. So the first one we'll go over is the two-way three-point Facilitator. You're a 6'4" shooting guard. Not really great. You look at the ball handling's pretty bad for a shooting guard. The three-point shot's all right. If you're looking at it in a 3v3 sense, it's not a terrible build other than the speed's pretty bad. You're not going to be really going up against, the 6-foot guards with 99, dribbling, all of that. You're not going to catch up with them. So the three-point shooting's not that bad. The dunking's all right, but again, you don't really need amazing dunking in this game. The defense is really good. It's probably the best defensive build, other than the other 3v3 build on this as well. But again, not really a useful build in 3v3 or 5v5.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, the build is only 6'4". So when you're that small, you really need to be fast to be able to get around the court and contest these guards when they're dribbling.
Yeah.
Really heavy, and like you said earlier, it's only got 81 speed. It's small and slow, so there's really not much upside to it. Doesn't really do anything great. It's got some decent defensive attributes and badges, but yeah, there's not really much upside to this one. And I don't think anybody has used it this year or will be using it at all.
Yeah, it's way too small for especially a lock. I mean, you can shoot over that.
You got a 6'4" with 81 speed. I think there's another lock build that it's 6'7" and has 82 speed, so it's bigger and faster. There's really no need for this build, to be honest.
It's very useless. All right. So the next one, we got the perimeter lockdown. This is straight up lockdown build for the shooting guards. A lot of lockdowns only really use small forward builds, but I think this was used a little bit in 3v3.
Yeah, I actually saw yesterday Crush was using this build for the Kings. So maybe starts to get used a little bit more. It's got really good defense, good speed, good height at 6'5". Can move around the court, shoots okay, not the best shooter, finishes decent. You're not going to really be playmaking a lot with this build, but you don't really need that out of your lock and threes. So I definitely think this is the best defensive threes build at shooting guard for sure.
Yeah, shooting guard. But we don't really see too much of that.
Yeah.
It's mainly just small forwards. So, I mean, like the defense is really good on the build. The shooting's pretty good. Got an 85 dunk. Don't really need that. But all in all, I mean, you look at the builds. I mean, these aren't really used that much. Obvious threat, I don't even think was used once this year. Yeah. This is the best build, two-way three-point playmaker 1. Second best build right here for shooting guard. We use this build. I think we can both agree that this is the best 5v5 build.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the best overall build at shooting guard, even both game modes. But do see the three-point playmaker 2 used a lot more in threes.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's on it in fives anymore. But yeah, it's definitely making its rounds in threes, and a lot of teams are giving it a shot after the Wizards won with it. So
all right, that's gonna wrap it up here for the shooting guard builds. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.